Okay. Oh! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is December 25th. It's Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate. And if not, isn't it just one heck of a Friday? I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so if my voice sounds a little bit different than normal, that is why. I've always wondered about the expression under the weather because like the sky is higher than you are, so aren't you technically always under the weather? Today's video is extra special because it's another collaboration video. Today we're collaborating with my friend Abby Williamson, and we both decided that it would be fun to take a makeup look from our pasts that we really liked. Maybe it was an old go-to, maybe it was something we were really proud of, and recreating it, getting a little nostalgic, going back in our own makeup archives and bringing something to the present and updating it for all of you. I love Abby and I think she's an absolute gem of a person. And actually, speaking of old videos, back way back in like mid 2018 when I hit 1,400 subscribers, I made a video about it, and in it I think I talked about like either just meeting Abby or like really wanting her to know who I was because I thought she was super cool and I really liked her videos. I've also found like other creators that don't know who I am that I also think make amazing content that I love watching. Abby Williamson, oh my god, I like stumbled across one of her anti-hauls like months ago. And the other day I was thinking like, oh my gosh, who was that like super cool like alternative chick who did a really funny anti-haul? I know her background was trees, but I can't remember anything else about her. And I literally like dove 2 months deep into my own YouTube watch history to find her, and now I'm subscribed. She's amazing. Please check her out if you haven't. She's so cool. Fast forward 2 years later and we're pals and buddies and we're making videos together. It's such a full circle moment. Abby is delightful and really just intelligent and really great at articulating all of her points. If you've never seen one of Abby's videos, you can't watch one and not come away from it feeling like you've learned something, even if it's not necessarily an informative video. She just has that kind of passion in the way that she talks. She's really fun to listen to, and I'm very glad that I get to call her my friend. I went back into my own channel and I decided to pick a makeup look from the very first year that I was making videos and recreate it. And I settled on a video that I haven't watched in a really long time, from 2017. June 10th of 2017 is when I put this up. And it's called Purple Eyes, Pink Lips, and My Camera Does Not Want Me to Prosper in Life. It's not necessarily how I would title a video now, but I appreciate past me's commitment to my own brand. I want to know what products I used to create this look to see if I can just dip into those again. So I'm going to go down the list and we're going to see what I still have. Milani eyeshadow primer. Nope. BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. Nope. BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. No. Milani Vital Brights palette. No. Pure Cosmetics Night Fantasy palette. No. Jessie's Girl Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. No. Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Tip Eyeliner. No. Wet n Wild Lash Renegade Mascara. No. L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. No. Flower Beauty Flower Pots Blush in Warm Hibiscus. No. NYX Duochromatic Illuminating Powder in Twilight Tint. No. Great. Off to a good start. I own literally nothing that I used in this video 3 years ago. God, that is humbling. And I claim that I'm not just one of these wasteful beauty influencers. Girl, what happened to all that makeup from that video? Threw it all away, just like the capitalist pig I am. Oink, oink, right? I have the Murakami pillow, so you know I have designer things. I'm taking sort of like a medium grape purple and I'm kind of concentrating it up here in my crease, so I'm gonna put on some primer and then we'll do that. I no longer own the Milani primer, but I do have the Ulta Beauty matte primer, especially being a person of color, a P of C with melanated eyelids. I like this a lot because of its consistency specifically. I find that a lot of primers dry really quickly, and when you're not amazing in eyeshadow, it can be kind of daunting to deal with primers like that because you have to work really quickly. Whereas this one remains tacky for a long time, but isn't so wet that really powdery eyeshadows and pressed pigments just sort of sink into wherever you put them. Like powders can still glide over it really easily. This is like a very solid primer. Just realized none of my brushes are even in the same zip code as clean. Feels like it makes the most sense as a substitute for the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. I'm going to use my September Rose Cosmetics Slush palette, and I think the purple shade in here that's probably closest to what I need is this shade down here, Dark Cherry. Just remembered I have two eyes. Oh, I just realized something I should probably address. If my skin looks a little bit weird in this video, there's a reason for that. My skin might look more textured than normal because I recently started using a retinol. Your skin needs some time to adjust to retinol, and that your skin can sort of start peeling and being really dry when you first start using one. I didn't realize that, and I thought the peeling was just the result of me not exfoliating my skin enough. So I was stupid and I used a peeling treatment on it. So it's a lot better now because this was like several days ago at this point. But girl, the texture is still on its way out, and literally up until this morning I had a big ass chemical burn like right here that like just healed enough to not be that visible. So thank God for that timing. This is why we procrastinate. Like two wildly different amounts of pigmentation on each of my eyes. It's only the first step though, so I'm imagining this is gonna become more normal looking in a second, right? Right, me from 2017? You know what? If it doesn't, me from 2017, it's okay. I was dealing with a lot when I made this video. This is from June of 2017, which means it's like 1 week after I moved out on my own for the first time. So I was dealing with having my own apartment, completely alone. So if this makeup look is a little questionable, it's okay. Now it looks like I'm doing sort of a cut crease situation, so I'm just putting primer on my mobile lid. Normally when I do this, I use a glitter primer, but I don't think I'm actually using metallic eyeshadows for the rest of this. I'm just gonna use the rest of the Ulta primer that's on my hand already. It's a little chunky. It is a little chunky, but it's okay. Let's get our next step. Girly, what's up?
Let's see this. Good enough. I want to kind of do a gradient of purples for my inner outer corners. I think.
That's ambitious.
Light to dark, right? Because you don't want to like muddle the lights with the dark purples. That seems like right. Why is this today's pose? Am I around? Is it Taurus season? What's happening? Is this like subliminal messaging? Am I sponsored by Red Bull? Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so annoying. Get to the point, sis. No, because if you're too self-deprecating, people are gonna leave comments about how your past self is still in there and you have to be kind to it. I mean, I'm so talkative.
Into my BH Cosmetics Galaxy Sheet palette, but I can't hold up all the way because...
Oh, I totally did use metallic shadows. God damn it, I could've used glitter glue.
Do I use this light shimmery purple shade? This light shimmery purple shade? Let's swatch it.
Sweetheart, my primer is drying. Let's go. Okay, I need a metallic light purple. I want to do something fun. I'm gonna go into my Midas Cosmetics by Smoky Glow palette, and I'm gonna use the shade Leno, which is probably a lot more metallic than this look calls for. Can you guys hear the rain outside? It has been torrentially raining here all day. You know that movie, The Year Without a Santa Claus, with the snow miser and the heat miser? I think we need a third one. Rain miser, Mr. Gray Christmas.
I'm gonna go into my Milani Final Brights palette. I'm gonna use this purple shade in the center of my lid. Yeah, sure. I had a swatch of it on here earlier. That's why I checked my wrist like I was wearing a watch. The swatch is gone because I'm so much. I am sweat. Oh my god. It's like, do you ever just feel your body getting slimier?
Yes, I do.
As the minutes tick by.
Every day, girly. I'm vibing to my background music. That's why I'm like getting it. This was before I had a membership to Epidemic Sound, which is the website that I get royalty-free music from. So all the music that's in the background of my videos is stuff that I've downloaded from Epidemic Sound. But this is before I had that membership. And I used to create my own background music for my YouTube videos, literally record a video and then spend like 3 or so hours editing the video, and then spend an additional couple of hours putting random stuff together in GarageBand to try to make a backing track that was catchy enough to be a functional backing track, but not loud or distracting enough that it would take away from what I was saying. And it always took so long. And I think I only ever ended up making like 3 or 4 that I used in a bunch of my videos from around this time. But my God, it was so labor intensive. Ugh. I guess I just care so much about the quality of my content. I'm on like such a confidence high right now. I had a phone call with my uncle this morning because it's Christmas, and he put like my cousins and their girlfriends and their wife on the phone, and they were like, your videos are so funny. We watch your videos, we watch your TikToks. You're so good at this. And I'm just like, you guys, I know. Anyway, to mimic the purple that I used here in the Milani Vital Brights palette that I don't have anymore, I'm gonna go into my BH Cosmetics by itsmyrayeraye second collaboration palette, and I'm gonna use this metallic purple, Charmed. You know what? I just moved so I was in frame, but it would be more in the tradition, in the ethos of 2017 me if I just stayed out of frame for my other eye. In my early videos, really, it's still not something I'm good at. But in my early videos, I swear to God, anytime I was doing anything detail-oriented on my eye, I would just immediately pass out of frame. If you were going to make a drinking game out of my channel and you took a drink every time I moved out of frame, you would have to go to the hospital. What did you do next 2017, Nisa, with your little top knot that you wore every day?
I'm gonna go into my Pure Cosmetics Night Fantasy palette for a dark purple to smug out the edges.
I went into my Pure Cosmetics Night Fantasy palette for a dark purple to smug out the edges. I hate that palette so much. The Pure Cosmetics Night Fantasy palette is the reason I haven't tried anything from Pure Cosmetics since 2015 when I bought that palette. I'm gonna be naughty. I'm gonna be naughty and completely disobey what I did here. And I'm gonna use a black, not any black. I'm gonna go into my ColourPop Smoke Show, now known as Blowin Smoke palette. And I'm going to use Night Dream, which is this one right here. This is the black, matte black with some metallic in it. And I know a lot of folks don't like shadows like this that are mattes with sparkles, because they're like, oh, the matte like just sort of falls out everywhere and all of the sparkles end up all over your face. And I say a great way to combat the problems you might have with matte eyeshadows with sparkles in them is to be good at makeup and apply it right and stop whining. Okay, so I'm kidding. They can be difficult to work with. I'm gonna put eyeliner on so it doesn't super have to be perfect around here, but I like to involve extra steps in everything I do, so everything is really frustrating for me. And I live by that. So obviously that's way heavier on this side, so I guess I have to match that energy over here, which is never a recipe for disaster and always works out just fine. Obsessed with the fact that this look has already involved 4 different palettes. I love being a minimalist. Okay, here's a fun thing that we can talk about while I'm blending. So you guys know movies, right? My roommate has a bunch of movies that she really likes that she's been trying to get me to watch for a while, and I haven't watched them yet because I'm a control freak and I hate being made to do things. But over the past several days we've been sitting down to watch all these movies, and so it's all movies that she's enjoyed a lot from like her childhood. What have we watched? We watched The Fifth Element, which was incredible. We watched Heartbreakers a while back. We watched Down with Love, which was delightful. We watched Willow. We watched Ella Enchanted, which I hadn't seen since I was like 12. And then recently we were watching Lord of the Rings. And I realized that there's a lot missing from that movie that should have been in there. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of scenes in Lord of the Rings, if you watch it, that should be punctuated with a kiss, but aren't. Like the characters in the scenes should kiss at the end of them, and they don't. And then the scene ends and the movie just continues. And you're like, you're really not gonna kiss here? Are you serious? Like most scenes with Frodo and Sam are like that. Most scenes with Aragorn and Boromir are like that. Most scenes with Gimli and Legolas are like that. Most scenes with Gandalf and Saruman are like that. Most scenes with Merry and Pippin are like that. It's very interesting. There's like no kissing in that movie, and there should be so much of it. So what I'm gonna do probably is, I'm going to retell Lord of the Rings, but as sort of like a Cinemax softcore thing, and there's just gonna be a lot of like kissing in it. in my version. Like everything else is the same, including the fact that they're gonna walk to Mordor instead of just taking those eagles. Everything is gonna be the same, except there's just gonna be a bunch of kissing. I think that's how it should go. There's also a lot of moments that should be punctuated by a laugh track that aren't. Here's a perfect example. If you haven't seen the movie, this isn't gonna make sense, but if you have, you know. And this is, I'm talking about the first Lord of the Rings specifically. I have seen all three, but not for a very long time. In the first Lord of the Rings movie, when the Fellowship of the Ring is in the mines of Moria and they're just discovering all of the dead dwarves from the battle with the goblins that happened in the past, everyone's just sort of like wandering around, there's corpses everywhere, and I don't remember which one it is, it's either Merry or Pippin, accidentally knocks a skeleton down a big like mine shaft hole and it makes a super loud noise and completely disrupts the solemn silence of the moment. And everybody like looks over at him, and I swear to God, like one of the guys even rolls his eyes. You're expecting there to be a sitcom laugh track and there's not, and it's like, I'm sorry, Peter Jackson, like have you seen movies? Like I'm not saying that I would have done a better job directing Lord of the Rings than Peter Jackson just by the fact that I would have put in laugh tracks and kissing. But I mean, if the shoe fits, you know what I mean? Yeah, Lord of the Rings trilogy. Weren't they made by that hack director who made Brain Dead? I'm obsessed with only talking about famous directors in the context of they're not that famous movies. It's so funny to me. Like, oh, Quentin Tarantino. Right, the guy who wrote True Romance. He made other movies? Luca Guadagnino? Oh, A Bigger Splash, right. Spielberg? Steven Spielberg. Isn't that the AI artificial intelligence guy? What happened next, baby girl?
Is this one Crease?
My nose is so big. I love it.
So, my camera stopped filming like 15 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Let me just like briefly explain what I did since then.
Oh, I have no earthly idea what I'm saying. You know what? It's fine. I can use context clues. It looks like I put on an inner corner highlight, put some turquoise eyeshadow on my lower lash line, and then put on some mascara and some eyeliner, which I can do. Try to bring me down. You can't. I'm unstoppable. I'm powerful. And I'm very smart and intelligent. Resourceful. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, me from 2017. My inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go back into the Sparkly Glue palette and I'm gonna use Nutty, which is the shade right here. I do kind of miss that very, very early era of making videos for me because I did come to this realization pretty early on in it that no one's watching me and I can just sort of make whatever I want. I'm not on anyone's schedule. No one has any expectations for my content. I can just make the stuff that I feel like would be fun to me. Now for the turquoise, I'm going to go into my Icy Betch palette from Tarte and I'm going to use the shade Becky, which is this blue right here. Well, I'm never getting that cat back. Is this primer telling the truth about a situation? 'Cause it's no cap. I hope the camera's not focused on me right now. I don't want people to see me. God damn it. I've never felt more like an out of touch adult ever. And I taught teenagers for 2 years. God, how did I live through that, honestly? No offense to you if you're a teenager, but like y'all are impossible to be around. I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding. But like teaching is very hard, especially teaching older kids because like you're people, it's like harder to tell you what to do because you're people and you have complex thoughts. And actually I did like parts of teaching. I liked being able to just like vibe with my students and like talk to them about their lives and give them advice and just hear about the experience of being a teenager. Very much liked having a sort of older sister vibe with my students, which is fun, but is also not the vibe you're supposed to have with your students. You're not supposed to have a sister vibe with your students. You're supposed to have a teacher vibe with your students. So I would be like, oh my God, yeah, tell me about your weekend. Like, oh yeah, when I was in college, this is what it was like. And it's like, okay, but these kids need to know grammar, sis. Like, and you need to like enforce rules so you can actually get stuff done. And not spend the entire class being like, you guys, I know we're having fun, but like, can we please answer one question? I was so bad at teaching, it's like absurd. People think that I'm exaggerating about how bad I was as a teacher. I'm literally not. I was terrible. And that's not me being self-deprecating. That's me being accurate. That is me being 100% accurate. You know what I mean? By the way, if you're wondering where this necklace is from, it's not a necklace. It's the chain that came on a Hot Topic plaid mini skirt that I bought for myself. because I'm an adult. I can buy whatever I want with my money, and no one, and not even God, can stop me. Not even my own internalized cringe phobia can stop me. I'm gonna do some eyeliner, which is always super easy and never gives me any trouble at all. You know? I do need to do it in my big mirror. I'm sorry. I got a feeling that my eyeliner's just not even, that I'm gonna have to redraw it. And I see that I got some shadow fallout, but I'll deal with it later. Woo! I've seen people online complain about beauty vloggers like covering up their entire eyeshadow look with a huge eyeliner wing, which is something I'm completely guilty of. And listen, when big ass cat eyes stop looking incredible on everyone, we'll stop doing it. You know what? My eyeliners looked worse. God, that was jarring. Let's move on. What is the next step? We've done mascara. I already know. Oh my God. I don't know why I'm gasping so much. Am I Shane Dawson trying desperately to make a joke? Warm Hibiscus from Flower Beauty is a rose gold blush. I don't have rose gold blush anymore because I don't like it. So I'm gonna use something as similar to it as I can find, which is probably gonna be this blush, which is a cool pink blush that I made myself. It was a Holika Holika Gudetama blush, but I did some editing to it because it wasn't flattering. With such a heavy under eye, this would have been a really smart makeup look to put on under eye concealer before doing. But it's too late, baby. I can't fake it. Oh, baby. I love this blush. I love a real heavy blush. I do. And it's got my little Eggly boy on it. Hello, sir. He's happy to be here. He says Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. Thank you. Mwah.
I'm a stan, even, I would say. I would say that. Yeah, sure, whatever. And then for highlighter,
Period, queen.
I have like 18 highlighters at this point. I didn't want to be this person, but this is the person that I became.
18 highlighters. Okay, we gotta check if I have more now. We gotta see how bad the problem has gotten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pause for emphasis. 13, 14, 15 and 16, 17 and 18, 19 and 20. This is technically an eyeshadow, but I only ever use it as a highlighter. 21, 22, 23, 24. But what a way to end it. Look at all that pan. Oh my God. What a responsible, committed makeup user. Girl, did I forget to count literally all of my Kaleidos highlighters? What was I at, 23? God damn it, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Damn it. Damn it. That seems to be the finished look. I don't think I did anything else to my face. I mean, now it's time to face facts. Who did it better? Me now or 2017 me? Take a second to lock in your answers. Really look, this is me. You know, the version of Nisa that you've grown to love. The older, more mature version. The version with more money. The version with a better job. The version who lives in a nicer apartment. I'm not saying this version is better, per se, but I am saying that she is different. Because she's better. So while this isn't my favorite makeup look I've ever put together, it was really fun to go back and observe past me's process and just sort of get into that headspace for a while. This is not a person that I've had to be for quite some time. Thank you, me from 2017. You're welcome, you from 2020. Girl, stop. You don't have to say that. Oh, thank you so much for watching, but before you leave, I'm gonna need you to do 2 quick favors for me. First of all, I need you to go to the link in the description and check out my friend Abby Williamson's take on this video. I know that she's gonna have some wondrous stories to tell in that video, just like I did in this one, and I'm very excited to be able to sit down and watch them and virtually hang out with her because she's an absolute delight and I love her very much. The second favor worries. I need you to go ahead and have an amazing day for me. If you could go ahead and do that, that would be very festive. And if you would like to interact with me betwixt uploads, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at NisiPisa. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to use code NisiPisa for 10% off at checkout at your local textured skin store. You can get a whole yard of it with that discount. Bye. So I'm so close to turning 27, which feels like a very sexy age, which is the same thing I said about turning 26. And you know what? It has been.